that's why we're making difficult sacrifices both individually and together as we go through this virus. And that brings me to some major news today. The Boston Athletic Association, with our input and support, has determined that the traditional one-day running of the 124th Boston Marathon is not feasible this year for public health reasons.
I've been running pretty much all my life. It's probably a love-hate relationship. It's tough getting up in the morning, especially when it's cold and you have to do it before work, so it's dark out. And get up at 5 in the morning and be easier to stay in bed. A good run is a good time not only to think but also to heal. I was at the Las Vegas country concert when the mass shooting occurred. I was about 10 feet away from the stage and saw a lot of things that night that are hard to get your head around, and some of the things that you struggle with, and I think running has helped with that. Times like that, deaths in the family, tough times at work, all have been helped by putting on the old running shoes and hitting the road a little bit and going for a run. In order to qualify for Boston, the cutoff was 3 hours and 35 minutes. My time was 3 hours and 31 minutes and 31 seconds was my qualifying time. So I made it by 3.5 minutes. I was ecstatic because it was the culmination of over 2 years of training. The marathon that I ran to qualify for Boston was a really good experience. It was extremely hard. At least twice during the race, I felt like I was above my body, looking down on it, and I was encouraging myself to go forward. And you train so hard to keep going, don't stop, don't take a rest, so you can go to Boston.
Marty Walsh announcing the 2020 marathon has been canceled over coronavirus concerns.
Yeah, a history-making decision impacting runners who've been training for months, even years.
I would have to say it was a disappointment that having put in all that timing and to have it canceled for the first time. So yeah, there was disappointment that this was the one time in the history that it was canceled. I was about halfway through getting ready for the Boston Marathon. And it was hard sometimes to get up in the morning and know that you had to run 12, 15 miles with the thought that they're going to cancel the race at any minute. But the reality of it was that Boston wasn't going to happen, so I did the next best thing, which was to run it virtually. I didn't have all the support of the crowd to kind of cheer you on, but yeah, I think it was more of a challenge to do the 26 plus miles basically by yourself, solo. What I take away from it was setting a goal, and over the 2 years of training, especially the last 18 weeks of intense training and all the sacrifices that it takes, and then to run that race in a time that qualifies for Boston and finally meet that goal after such a long period of time was very satisfying to me. Even though I couldn't run Boston, I'm satisfied that I was able to set that goal and achieve it.